Choffcast, yup, it's the Choffcast, Choffcast. Welcome to the first ever solo Choffcast. All right, not first ever. If you've been following me for a really long time, my first ever Choffcast was solo in college in my little apartment house room thing. But I'm super excited because I've aged probably about 12 years since then. So I thought today would be a fun opportunity to just kind of check in, give a little bit more behind the scenes of kind of what I've been up to, what my goals are, moments about my journey. So obviously I just built this studio over the past few months. I got the keys. So right now it's May 13th, 2025. I got the keys like December 27th, I think. And we officially opened the spot in February. So it's been like a crazy few months of just building this space. So gonna give you a little bit more behind the scenes about that. And if you see me looking down, I did make myself a little bit of an outline today, so I wouldn't go totally off the rails. But you know what? I'm probably gonna go off the rails anyway because it's just more fun that way. So first of all, hi and welcome. We'll start at the very beginning, right? So for those who don't know, I'm Choff. CHOFF is how you spell it. My name is Christian Hoffer. So how I got my name was when I was in college and I started DJing a couple parties. I was going by the name CHOFF, and I just kind of one day was like getting a logo made, and I was like, why do we have a dash in it? This sucks. Like it feels very like, I don't know, at the time I was playing like a lot of dubstep. It felt like I was trying to be like a hip hop DJ. It just was like, it didn't feel right. So I just dropped the dash, not thinking much of it. People started saying Choff. I absolutely despised it for a very long time until it grew on me, and now I love it. And now it's my name. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Nope. I love it. I own the name now too. So that's how I got my name. Fun fact. It's a word in itself. The Urban Dictionary for it is like an annoyance. So if you find this annoying, congratulations. Guess what? It worked. So a brief kind of outline of just like what the Choffcast is about. So I created it in, I believe 2017 was my first episode. Might have been even 2016. I was basically interviewing musicians and artists and creatives of all types, and it was pretty focused, like still kind of all over the place, but pretty focused just on music. And when I relaunched it in February with the opening of the studio, I was like, okay, I don't want to just be the guy that talks to musicians. Obviously, I'm an artist and musician myself. It's great. You can hear me talk to musicians all the time if you want, but realistically, I wanted to talk to more people than just that. So this podcast has been me interviewing so far just like my friends and people that I find really interesting, people that I've crossed paths with, and people that I just find inspiring. And fun fact, you can see I'm switching cameras manually here. That's how I do it on every Choffcast because that's just how it's set up right now. So if I ever go off the rails while I'm in the middle of a conversation here, just know it's because my brain is focusing on like 100 things at once. And all I can ask from you to help this is to tell your friends about the studio so one day I can afford to hire a producer. Yeah. All right. But that's not what we're here for. So that's kind of how I got my name. I started my podcast, like I said, in 2016. I was in radio at the time. So it was like a very natural thing. Like I was on 4 different radio stations at my peak of radio. I was doing nights in Grand Rapids on SNX for an extended period of time. I was doing weekends on B93, which is a West Michigan radio station. Both of those are. I was also helping out doing a weekly mix show on Saturday nights on Channel 955. So I would like kind of do basically like what the old Bomb Squad used to do, just play a fire mix and host over it, and I would take calls, and it was super fun. And then I also had a night show in Montreal, so basically like talking between top 40 songs. I did that for, oh my God, I think I had the Montreal gig for like 3 or 4 years. That was like my COVID job every night, literally Monday through Saturday at my place. I would just go in my room and I would just talk to myself. And I'd get callers on because I could route the phones to my studio. So it was really fun. And that's kind of where I got my broadcast start. So it's, getting back into podcasting has been something that has been on my mind ever since. And really, I just needed the right kind of meshing of the forces. The Zoom podcasts like never appealed to me. Shout out to everyone that does them. I just personally know like it's a lot harder for me to listen to a Zoom podcast. Like if I'm listening to a podcast myself and it's on Zoom, I listen a lot less. I don't know what it is. I think it's just something about that digital barrier. It's not to say a lot of great content can't be done there, but for me relaunching my podcast, I knew that Zoom just wasn't an option. So once the stars aligned and I got this studio together, I knew that I had to bring it back. So that'll kind of bring me into how this all came to be, I guess. So if you're my friend, you know this story. So, skip past it, I guess. But basically, so I've been DJing for about 12 years now, going on 13, crazy. And I got to a point where kind of like end of COVID, I was just not even end of COVID. Like I think, maybe like as COVID was fizzling out, I just got really kind of hungry. Right. And I was like, okay, where can I just like DJ at that like wouldn't make sense? So I started just reaching out to anyone I could. I started reaching out to a bunch of gyms, coffee shops. I mean, you name it. I was just like in everyone's emails. And this gym chain ended up reaching back out to me. And we went back and forth for a bit, and I ended up becoming their DJ. I was F45, good times. Not with them anymore. But through doing that, I became good friends with a trainer named Logan Gray, who is one of the owners of Move Detroit, which is the business that currently resides in the building that I'm in. So long story short, Logan started training me maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. You can go to the first relaunch episode of the CHOFF. I did it with Logan. Thought it was very appropriate because he's a huge piece of why this studio exists. But long story short, I was DJing his community fitness events, which at the time were just pop-ups around the city, around Metro Detroit. We did one at the Congregation. We did one actually in this building before we were tenants of it. With the previous tenant called Cryo Spa. So we were just kind of doing these pop-ups, and they were just my homies, so I would just show up and DJ their events just for fun. And long story short, like maybe a month after we did the event with Cryo Spa, we were talking to them about maybe getting to use some of the backspace. They wanted to do workouts in there, so I was kind of, I wasn't really in the picture then. But around that time, Cryo Spa said they wanted out of this building. Crazy. So basically this was in like mid-December. And so we pretty much had a week or two to decide if we were going to do this or not, meaning Move Detroit was going to move into the gym space out in the back. And around this time they came to me and were like, hey, what if you had an office in the building? And I had been like joking about opening a CHOFF, like the official CHOFF office or whatever, because I always called my home studio the CHOFF. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to like have a CHOFF like people can come to. But once I saw the space and started kind of like kicking it around more, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't really want it to just be me. Like this could just be its own thing. What if I just created a studio? So I came in the space and I looked at it. I was like, well, it's pretty tiny. Looks like a shoebox. Let's call it Shoebox. That's how that. I wish I was more. I wish it was more of a deep story than that. But I liked how the word sounded. I liked how it looked. I found the font right away. I got this logo made up right away. Hang on, let me switch cameras here. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Skate Shapes, by the way. This is actually a skateboard. I don't know if you can see. There you go. That's a good angle for it. Yeah. So this is a skateboard that I had custom made of this logo that Midjourney made for me. So long story short, it came together pretty quick. And now we're here. We've been open for a few months now. I've been trying to figure out fun ways to get people in here. So I created the Sprint Challenge, which is like a 15-minute beat challenge. We're going to be launching the next season of that soon. But it's just been a really fun few months cultivating this space, turning it into something great. It's helped me because I'm in the building with an amazing gym with personal trainers, nutrition coach, physical therapists, you name it. We've got an insanely talented squad out here, and everyone is very much like down for the cause for kind of just improving your health and being the best version of yourself, because that's what I really, that's what I strive for in everything that I do. Just try to grow, get greater. So this is kind of a one-stop shop. You know, if you want to do a podcast here, you can come do a podcast. We got a beat making area. So if you're into music production, I wanted to have a studio that was kind of first of its kind for music producers, because in like LA, there's plenty of studios that are for in the box creators. But here, every studio that I would go to, and I've worked out of most of the big studios in Metro Detroit, or like a good handful of them at least. It's like we're always throwing our laptops on these like $10,000 mix boards. I'm just like, there's no reason for this. We don't need this. Like, even if I am recording vocals, I'm going to do most of my stuff in the box anyway. So I just need like an input, like a basic input. So I figured it'd be cool to just have an in the box studio that people could come to. Obviously our price point is like way lower than, a lot of the main, big professionals. I don't even want to say professional, because this is also professional, but big time studios that you see around town. So not only can you come here, podcast, make beats, but we also have a ton of health resources. So this is like a great place to just spend your day and have a fun, creative hangout. We do birthday parties if you want, like all types of fun stuff here. I'll tell a little bit about our event that we just did. It was called Level Up over the weekend. So we wanted to create an event that would bring people in the studio, like musicians and artists. And we wanted to find a way to kind of give back, because I wanted to get people in the space, but it's like, I don't want to just throw a party. Like, there's parties every weekend. I wanted to create kind of an experience that would help people boost their brands. So I teamed up with a couple of my friends, Chris from Catch and Play Songs and Ethan, who runs Detroit Artist Workshop, and we did this event called Level Up. It was super sick. We had studio interviews, press photos, entertainment lawyers people could talk to, creative consulting. We had a social media zone. Everyone could get their networking in. We had an open mic and open decks. What else? We had a coffee bar. It was just a super good vibe here over the weekend. Tons of people came through. I think we had over 50 artists, and everyone got all that stuff for free. So you could come in. You got a free keepsake USB. Got a couple of them here. Pretty sweet. Get at me if you're my homie. I got like 6 of these left. But yeah, so, I look forward to kind of creating more events like that, just getting the music community together. I personally have been alcohol free for like 2 years and 6 months now, just personal choice. I was never super into drinking, but, a couple drinks every night, if you're DJing like 3 or 4 nights a week, it adds up. So long story short though, is like, I look forward to creating more music events that like aren't centered around booze. And this is no shame to the industry that obviously I work in the entertainment world. I know how important of a role alcohol plays in it. But I thought it would be cool to just create something for artists that is separate from the nightlife and partying space. And so that's kind of what I'm striving to do here at the building. And I'm super, super excited for it. On my list here, I'm going to talk about it says I'm going to talk about the setup. I don't really want to talk about the setup in here. If you want to come see my studio, hit me up. You can come see it anytime. We're in Royal Oak, but it's basically just 3 GoPros, a couple soft boxes, a Rodecaster, a couple SM7Bs, some nice mic stands, and a whole lot of XLR. Super simple, some Kali monitors, and a little Akai keyboard for the beat making setup. I mean, less is more, baby. And when you're dealing with a shoebox size space, you really got to maximize your space. So that's where we're at with that. Super, super fun. I'm trying to think. Okay. So more about me. Great. Let's talk about me. So I've been writing music for a while now. I took probably like a 7-year hiatus from actually writing music. And that was when I was in radio, because I was so deep in, just doing the shows, DJing the events, podcasting. I was still in a DAW because I was always like producing stuff for the shows and whatnot, but I wasn't actually like making music per se, like I was when I was in, the end of high school and throughout college and whatnot. So over the past probably like 2.5, 3 years, I've really dove headfirst back into music production, which has been like the most rewarding thing ever. I got a ton of music out you can check out, but what I've really been working on lately is getting ready for this new drop. My music is kind of, I call it like suburban tech. It's kind of ghetto tech inspired. It's kind of house inspired. It's like very simplistic in nature. I try to keep my projects like 12 tracks or less usually. And I really just designed it like my music to kind of just be like dance floor heaters, simple. a lot of vocal play, a lot of, kind of stabs at like pop culture and stuff like that. So something I'm working on right now is my new EP, Tish Tunes 2. It's actually, I should have been done with it like forever ago, but here we are, 2 weeks from my scheduled release date, and it's still not done. But it's going to be great, and I'm throwing a little workout party for it in a couple weeks, so I'm really, really excited for that. And just continuing to grow, I've been really enjoying like collaborating with people a lot lately. I've got a ton of projects with my buddy Harrison. We have an assortment of vocalists that we've been working with. So things are feeling good in the music realm. It's always a grind. I hit it in like huge strides, right? So I will get in this like creative flow and I'll make like 15 beats in a week and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm living it. This is it right now. And then the next 3 weeks, I won't be able to write anything and I'll just struggle to make a kick snare pattern. But that being said, I've been trying to just really capitalize on those landslide moments and get as much written as I can. And then, when those moments don't come, you just mix and master and you just switch up the flow and work with some other people and see how it goes, try to make with what you got. So really excited for the future of all that. Lots of music stuff coming up. I got a ton of fun events coming up. So I assume if you're watching this, you understand. But yeah, I'm a full-time working DJ. What does that mean? That means that I am a DJ who basically I'm an entertainer, I guess you could say, right? There's like, I would consider it like two types of DJs. There's like your showcase producer DJ where it's like they play their own music, that's it, they're known for this one thing and like that's their thing. That's like super cool if that's you. For me, I've always found a lot more joy in doing like a huge assortment of things. So a common term to refer to like the type of DJing I do, I guess you could say, is like open format, right? In the sense that you give me a room and I will make that room smack. It doesn't matter if it's a top 40 crowd. It doesn't matter if it's a house crowd. I could play I'm not kidding you when I say like over the past 12 years, I've played to pretty much every type of room that you could put me in America at least. And I pride myself on being able to crush it. So that's like what I do. That's how I make my money. That's how I keep my lights on. I do everything from nightclubs to private events, weddings. I do a handful of festivals every year. I will say, and this is going to sound kind of like I'm gassing myself up, but like as far as open format DJs go, like you probably won't find a DJ in Michigan as versatile as I am and actually like plays those roles, right? I would say it's pretty safe to say like most people in the open format lane kind of like do their one thing and that's it. Maybe they're like wedding DJs or like they do corporate, or maybe they do corporate and weddings and like that's their thing, or maybe they do like nightclubs and maybe an assortment of those three. But like I can't really think of any open format DJs that are like actively playing festivals and being able to rip underground parties and play the cool stuff, if you will, while still doing like the things that pay the bills when you're not at a super high level. So that's something that I'm really grateful. I've been able to kind of pave this strange lane for myself, and right now it's working. So just gonna keep going in on that, and feel free to roast me in the comments if you think it's you think you got a little opinion about it. But I have always this has been treating me really well for a long time, so I'm really grateful to be where I'm at. And I look at some of my peers that work day jobs and, like they're just a house DJ and like they're committed to that and like that's their thing, and they work a day job and like they're going to blow up as a house DJ and that's going to be their freedom from their day job. And like, shout out to you. That's awesome for you. I couldn't do that personally. I need to connect with my passions on the regular. Like I can't just have it be a weekend thing. Like I need to be in the cut in some capacity every day working for myself. And this is like the best way that I've found to do that works for me. And it's been going great. And I think it's always like a battle, right? Because like you want to just do the cool stuff. You do want to just play the festivals. You want to just play the underground parties. You don't necessarily want to go, you know, to play for some of the tougher crowds all the time. But for me, it's been something that, you know, really has made me a lot stronger at not only as a DJ, but just as a man. Just feeling like I can walk into any room and just like create a great atmosphere. And it allows me to connect with people on a way that I would never be able to if I was just playing in one niche. So I'm super, super pumped on it. It took me a long time to kind of be able to like even be at peace with it. I think it was, you know, for a long time, it was like, okay, like I'm doing weddings now, but like I don't ever want to do weddings in the future. And like I'm realizing now it's like, it's okay, like to do that sort of thing as long as you find a way to do it that works for you and you are able to just like make it as great as possible. And part of that too, I think, comes from really just leaning in on the effort. Like I've had a lot of ruts with my DJing to where it's like, oh my God, I'm playing at like these same clubs every weekend. And it's like, I'm not really getting anywhere and like I'm not really doing anything. But one thing that's really helped for me that I kind of kicked into my brain sort of around a little before New Year's this year is like every minute of playtime is mileage, right? And you can, it's just like playing a video game or it's just like doing any job, right? You can be on autopilot and just kind of like get through it, or you can challenge yourself and try to like really push yourself at each gig so that every time you get better. And that's what I've been really trying to do. And it's crazy how much better off I feel after doing that. I mean, not only like do my nights go better rather, but every time I surprise myself like every night because I'm just like, oh damn, I got it like that now. Like I can flip this into this into this into this, and it like just the way my mind works is something that's like ever evolving, and it took a conscious effort to get to that place. So I this isn't advice because you shouldn't take any advice from a DJ. But I guess my advice to you, if you're in any sort of like repetitive thing like that, is really just try to push yourself and like see where you can grow within that box. Because I truly do feel like now every gig I play, I get better, and it's a really, really positive way to approach things that could be mundane. I could still have that perspective of like, oh, I'm playing at the same places, but it's like, no, now that I know that like, then, you know, the next time I go play an arena or the next time I get like a sick big opportunity to open for, you know, a pop star or something like I've done in the past, like I'm going to have all these nights of skill that I've just been sharpening my sword, and I'm going to freaking slay it out there. So, yeah, I'm really, you know, really optimistic right now with DJing and where everything's at and where I'm taking things. And I'm excited for more of that. I'm going to divert back to this sheet here because let's see what we're going to talk about next. Oh, yes, my other side project. So I got a duo with my good friend Harrison. We go by Never Grow Up. Really excited for that. A lot of new music coming out soon. Harrison's great because he's like a very well-rounded producer. And when we hit the studio together, it's just like we just vibe so hard. And it's really good. I don't know. You can go back to the last episode of the CHOFF. He was the previous guest on it. I don't want to talk your full ear off, but I will just say I'm very excited about where things are going right now. I'm excited to make a ton of friends in this space. I encourage you, if you have something that scares you, like do it. This was definitely a scary idea to open up a studio, especially going into winter, which is my slow season. But jumping on it and doing it has been like the most positive thing I've ever done. It has been so rewarding. I feel like I've grown a ton. I feel like I've met people I never would have met, and it's only just the beginning. So keep on keeping on out there. God, that sounds so lame. Let's see. Any final thoughts? You can find me on socials at Hey Choff. I feel like I might do a solo podcast every once in a while. But we'll see. I'm also on a fitness transformation right now. My phone's across the room, so I wouldn't stare at it. But if you want to see pictures of me shirtless, my transformation, you don't. So don't message me. But if you do, that's where you go. All right, this has been super fun. I'm super excited to be here, and thanks for hanging out on the first ever solo Choffcast. Yup, it's the Choffcast.